Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Cigar Lounge, Cigar Talk Show. I am Aaron Paoletta. This is John Hunter and Muffins in the back, as usual. And today, we're doing something a little bit different. Today, we're all smoking something different.
Figured it'd be something different, because we were all talking, and I wanted something different than he did. So we're like, we'll just do all something different.
Might as well. Today, I'm actually excited to break this one out. This is the Rocky Patel Disciple. Came out a few months ago, I think. What do you have?
I have the Arturo Fuente Don Carlos number 2. I have yet to smoke this cigar, and I have some anticipation about it. And
So we got a virgin stick on the...
yes, sir.
Okay, Muffins, what are you smoking?
I have the Romeo, the red and white variety. It is one that I'm very familiar with at this point, and one that I quite enjoy.
And it was Mr. K approved. Matter of fact, only found out about it because I was sitting out there one day. He goes, "You know what's a good everyday smoke for you or for me?" He goes, "No, just in general." Okay, what is it? The Romeo by Romeo and Julietta. Well, I had to think for a minute. I'm like, okay, which one is the Romeo? It literally says Romeo. Hold yours up real quick. Show him that
Plain
banding.
and simple.
Show him that banding. Romeo.
Can't get any more direct than that.
So they have other varieties of this. There's it's like black and silver. It's the Romeo Añejo or something like that.
Añejo. I had that one too.
Yeah,
I like the red and white one better.
It was good. Yeah, the red and white one is something special though.
Romeo's cigars I'm actually not a huge fan of, but there have been a couple. I think the 1875 was pretty damn good. The Añejo, it's a golf stick.
Smokable.
That red and white Romeo though, tits on a boar hog right there, boy. Anyway.
There's a new expression.
Anyway, I'm cracking into this thing because I need this smoke. See, I like to do this. Cut my little cap off there. Yes, sir. Oh, and it's a perfect draw. See, that's another thing a lot of people don't know. They try to, even when they use the torches, they just try to burn the shit out of this thing.
I try to get a nice burn all the way around.
Well, if you can see, and actually, Muffins, move that camera in here. You see the lip on that. You see how that lip's kind of folding up? That's what creates your burn line. I think Nick Perdomo actually put out a video a while ago on how to properly light a cigar. Yep.
Actually, you know what? Can I have one of them cedar things from you?
The spill.
The spill, yeah, the spill.
Cedar spill, for those of you who don't know what that's called. Actually, using the cedar is, I really enjoy using the cedar, but it depends on what cigar I'm smoking.
Well, from what I heard about this cigar and what I read, this is a really good stick.
Oh, it is a really good stick, and there's notes of cedar in it, if I remember correctly. But the thing when using the cedar spills, it does add that touch of cedar flavor to an already badass cigar, and that's why I actually like using those. But see, what you can also do, and a lot of people don't realize, when you buy boxes of cigars, sometimes you get that cedar divider in top, or like right on top of it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you just, actually, I don't know which end you burn. Pull that out real quick. Do you see the writing on the back of it still?
Yep.
See, that was one of the ones that I bought. I don't remember which one. It said anniversary. Could have been the Padrones.
Yeah.
But no, you just take that thing out if you don't want. I mean, because you could buy them on Amazon. I think you get like 100 quarter-inch by 8-inch long spills for $15, $16.
I'm gonna have to definitely try it again on a cigar that I've smoked
Yeah,
before.
you're pretty ballsy trying that on the Don Carlos there, and
Well-
potentially risking ruining the thing.
Well, from what I heard, this was a good smoke, and from what I heard from you talking about this, Bill, that's why I wanted to try it. It just puts an extra taste on top of an already good cigar.
Oh yeah, that's why I like using it. I haven't used it yet for the show, but and I meant to say at the beginning, during the filming of this episode, we are going through a sleet storm. So if you hear clang, clang, clang on the roof, that's what you're hearing. I'll try to take out as much as we can, but you just never know.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly out there.
It is pretty nasty out there, actually.
I think I drove here sideways most of the way.
Wow, we got here before. No, I mean, it was coming down. It was nasty when we were on our way here, but I don't drive like an asshole like you do.
I love driving like an asshole.
So I'm coming from Vegas.
Yeah, it's true.
The middle
Where
of
this
the
doesn't
desert.
exist.
I have never in my life seen sleet before. I've seen snow. It snowed in Vegas a few times since I've lived there.
Snowed a couple times while I was still out there.
But this is like just silica gels falling from the sky.
Actually,
So what do you think of shit like this?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it looks sick.
Honestly, for your first like real winter, we haven't had snow like this in almost 10 years.
I'm pretty stoked.
3
on it.
years ago.
That
3 years
stayed
ago.
like this? We
No, it
haven't-
didn't stay.
No, we
3
haven't had snow like
No,
because
because I have a picture of my wife shoveling, and she was pissed. Well, I made her shovel. You bet your ass I made her shovel. She wanted to move back here. Outside you go.
I secretly think Gus is enjoying shoveling.
Well, Jackie showed me that you guys were talking. He thought it was hail.
No.
Gus got on their work chat or whatever it was, and he's like, is it hailing? I think it's hailing. I'm like, no, that's sleet.
Yeah, there's.
Well, because I had asked him, I was like, is it raining or snowing because it's really loud? And his response was, I think it's like some weird mixture of both.
That would be called sleet.
Yep.
Mr. Patel, I love this thing. Matter of fact, we're going to have to go back to summertime in the Oasis. Do you remember when this thing was first, like when we first saw it on Instagram, that badass little 30-second video commercial he did with the oh, man.
That was an exciting time for Rocky Patel. Well, it was an exciting time for us with Rocky Patel because it started with the white label. Literally, like dead middle of summer, they announced the white label coming in October. Then they did the Disciple, then they did the 60, and they were seemingly like a week apart from each other.
It was, too. Because I remember him sitting down. It was like the following week, he sat down, he's like, holy shit, he's releasing another one. And it's a Disciple. And you get that, that copper color banding and then this sick-ass bottom half, which I stopped using so much glue. And then
This was also like, I was in the process of falling in love with the ALR. Like I had smoked it a few times, I liked it, and it was just like the more I smoked it, the more I loved it. So like in the process of like falling head over heels for ALR, he's just like, look at all these other beautiful cigars coming out along the same lines of the ALR, just that one step above, one step higher quality than some of his other stuff with the beautiful banding and the good presentation.
I think that's the most I've heard him talk so far this season.
You getting excited about these new ones, huh?
I'm just saying, I would kiss Rocky Patel right on the lips.
I am a huge fan of the white label, and if I was able to make it to Penn, Ohio today, I would have gotten a white label.
We'll go down for next one. So because we are changing it up a little bit, the beauty about, well, at least in our minds, the beauty about all three of us smoking something different is you're going to get 3 different interpretations of these cigars. So that being said, for the next episode, bring the white label.
Well, I've been thinking about the white label.
Bring an extra because he wants one. He has yet to try that.
I will
I
bring you
was
one.
just about to say, sidebar, how much are they at George's and can you grab
I
me
think
one?
they're like $20.
Done deal. I mean, you're not an old man like Aaron is, so I'm assuming I can digitally send you money, right? You motherfucker. I'll go to George's myself.
Old Man 2, Dusty Muffin 0.
Yep.
Download Cash App, you old fucks.
I've been told that a few times.
Transfer it to my wife, and I'll give him the money. I'm half. I'm 50-50.
You know, there are some things where I think, like in our lodge, and you know what I'm talking about, updating some things that make it convenience for everybody. Now, when it comes to money and finances, like I said, if I can't feel it, taste it, smell it, it ain't real. So, I mean, of course, you guys been to Vegas and these big cities where everything's 100% up to date for the most part.
For the most part.
I've been in this side of Pennsylvania my whole life. And I like my slow, more personable feeling.
Says the guy.
I hate cities, too.
Says the guy who's about to go to Verizon and get an iPad so he can have digital calendar.
Like I said, there are certain things that I do understand. But when it
Go
comes
ahead, cut
to
him
money,
off. Cut him off. It's okay.
I was just going to say, go ahead and talk about the irony there, because I know you want to.
but that has nothing to do with money. My
Well,
point
it
is,
has
I
to
think
do with
cash
being
is,
an old man and getting with the times.
yeah.
But the ironic thing there, and I know Aaron wants to talk about it, is that I don't use a fucking digital calendar.
And
Digital
that's-
calendars do not work for me.
And that's the
have-
irony. You're talking about a guy who, born and raised on the West Coast, okay? West Coast people are more susceptible to change because everything is created out there. It all starts on the West Coast, and then 8, 9, 10 years later, it comes back to us.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I first moved out there back in 2003, I was seeing all this cool shit come out. I bought it. I would come home for vacation. Yes, I came here for vacation. Come back for vacation, and my buddies are looking at me like, what the hell is that? I'm like, fuck, this has been out for like a year already. Oh, we ain't seen that. So I started to notice that. So him coming up around technology, his full uses a paper calendar, still on the wall.
See, I've tried the paper books that you write everything in. I've tried it. I can't.
Mind blown.
Yeah, I can't keep those in track. I've done the dry erase board calendar on my wall. I can't keep up with that.
I wish I could use a little agenda book.
I've tried almost everything, and the only thing I have, I even tried to do it on my phone. And I can't, I can put it in there, but I can't read it clearly enough. It's just too much. And from what I see on the iPad, you can actually see every day, read what you have on there, and I feel like it's something that I'd be able to.
It's a calendar and an alarm clock in one.
and-
Because not only is my shit going on my calendar, it reminds me.
Yeah. And you both know I'm terrible at keeping time or dates or.
That's a fucking understatement.
Motherfucker showed up 4 minutes early.
Except for today, he did
About
show up
blew my goddamn mind.
Except for today, he did show up 4 minutes early.
Needed a cigar today, and I couldn't be happier to be here, especially with good friends and great fucking cigars.
You want to kiss now, or?
Maybe later, off camera.
Anyway, on our cigar show, I want to get into this Disciple a little bit. Now, this thing, I've had probably a half a dozen of these already since it's come out. This one I've aged since the day it came out. A little bit more, I don't say more flavor, bolder flavor.
Okay.
Same flavor, more of it. This thing has already gotten countless 90+ ratings. Matter of fact, oh, I didn't bring my book.
What?
Oh, you dumb fuck. Anyway,
All right, we're about to cut this episode. Go get your book and restart.
if it wasn't a sleet storm, I would definitely go back. But if I do recall correctly, I think I gave this a 92 or a 93. And then the second and third one I smoked of the same one, I definitely confirmed 92 or 93. This thing, in my opinion, has just been, I mean, it's come out in spades.
Yeah.
The people love this thing. I mean, Rocky, I've been on Rocky's Instagram constantly, and you're promoting your old ones, you know, you're promoting your vintage cigars, which are still a good line of cigars. Get away from them. right here. This one, your white label, your 60. I've had your 60. Oh my Lord. Matter of fact, me and Muffins you even have that box of 60 down here. We just split a box of your 60, I think, what was it, the 6.5 by 52s? I can't remember, I have to look at my order.
You know my fucking memory. Why would you ask me that?
Because it's sitting right in front of you.
It's all the way back there.
Oh my God.
First of all.
Split a box of those. I've got 2 boxes of the 5.5 by 52s of his 60. I'm still waiting on my box to get here of this. And let's just face it, Rocky, if you didn't charge so much for the white label, I'd probably have a box in those also.
I am going to get a box of white labels, and I love them so much I honestly don't care how much they are.
Well, I'm cheap, so I do care. However, great cigar, worth money. Just not going to put it in my humors. But we'll wait till you bring that one on, and I'll tell you what I think about that one. This one, I absolutely love this stick. This has so much more flavor than the 60. And I had to try the 60 in 3 different sizes. The first one failed me. The 6x60, clogged, lack of flavor. You smoked it that day.
Have you smoked more than one of the 6x60?
Yeah, I always smoke 3 of them. My first, the first cigar that I smoke goes in my book. It's my initial thoughts on it. Then I smoke 2 more of that same cigar. And that's what goes, like if I type my review on it, that's what goes on my website. It's all 3 of those combined to make sure. I smoked 3 of them. And the first one's the only one that I had like clogs in, but all of them were lacking in flavor.
Okay.
I smoked that 5.5 by 52, and then that 6.5 by 52 I smoked yesterday to try it. Fresh out of the box, fantastic. All the flavor you would expect, boom, right there. This thing, flavor-wise, blows them out of the water. And I love that 60.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about before, trying the same stick more than once, because we both love the Andalusian Bull. Mm-hmm. And you're just telling me you finally got one that you put out.
That let me down.
And how many of the previous did you smoke to that?
Boxes?
Okay, so.
Of them?
Point being, you will get one cigar that is not up to par. It happens. These are all hand rolled. Not all of them, but they're hand rolled.
Shit happens, dude. It's leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. And the person who's rolling them, they're doing their thing. Sometimes it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a good example of that is the Romeo that I'm currently fucking smoking.
Jesus. Mr. K told him, I almost said his name again. Mr. K told him about that Romeo. Okay. Then I confirmed that Romeo. He gets a sample pack with that Romeo in it. And what happened? Somebody took a golf ball and shoved it right inside of that cigar and then left enough tobacco to light it. And he's going and couldn't get nothing out of it. Dude, when he put that thing down, I can't even make the face. He's like, crying, just tears. Tears, because he wanted to try it so bad.
I don't know if I would go that far. I was very upset, though.
Hey, come on, man.
Well,
theatrics.
You definitely have to try more than just one of that cigar. Now, I did bring you and Dustin something for you guys to try today. I know you are...
The dicks. He brought the dicks.
I know he's against trying this size, but I love the regular Asylum 13. I smoked it in the 80 gauge, and I enjoyed it. Yes, it's a little bit weird to smoke because it is so big, but I do enjoy the flavors that I got out of it. It's like a whole nother cigar. It really is, and I really hope you give it a full try. Now, from smoking those, I have no interest in trying the 90 gauge because those are big, and it is a little weird to smoke. But I think any bigger than that is what they originally released that as an April Fool's joke. It's
the 90.
Yeah, the 90. The
What gauge? What gauge are those?
What, these ones?
Yeah, these
These are 80 gauges.
Okay.
Now, I do have some 70 gauges at home that I haven't tried yet. They're a little bit smaller, but they're longer.
So they made this 90, or they made the 90 as an April Fool's joke. Was this a Halloween joke to make the 80s?
No, to be honest with you, we go to a bunch of cigar retailers. Believe it or not, the 80 gauges and the 70 gauges sell more than anything else, and I've asked several times, like, do you really sell these? Yeah, those are one of our best sellers. Compared to, like, the acid line and that, these sell just as much as those cigars do. And people that smoke infused cigars and or versus more natural tobaccos like we tend to gravitate to, they're totally different cigars. You can't even put them in the same category because they're totally different.
This fool said gravitate. You can't say Nicaragua, but you can say gravitate. What was the other one he said earlier? Do you remember?
Humidimeter?
Humidimeter.
Humidimeter, yeah.
Humidimeter. We were checking the humidity on one of Muffin's cigars, and he was like, well, pull out your humidimeter. I'm like, you can say that, but you can't say...
Nicaragua?
Oh, my God.
Nicaraguan?
Nicaraguan?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've literally tried reading, like, the breakdown on how to say it, and say it over. I still can't do it.
Nick.
Nick?
Ra.
Ra.
Gua.
Gua. Nicaragua. Did I say it?
Oh, he got
Nicaragua?
it. He
All right.
got it.
I'll say it this time. The next time I go to say it, I'm going to fuck it up.
What is it?
Nicaraguan. See what I tell you? I can't. That word just.
Oh, my God.
I think it's the N at the end that's getting him, because you had him say Nicaragua, not Nicaraguan. I think that's what's fucking him up.
You know what? I'm going to use this for its true purpose. As a fucking billy club, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you with this.
I would say so if it had too much moisture in it, but I think that's ready to smoke. Actually, pull out your humidimeter and test it.
I will do that in a minute. However, I don't really want to smoke this. But I do pride myself on testing everything.
Yeah,
it's hard to be a cigar journalist if you're picky about shit.
Yeah.
I try it all.
Unless I give you a Gurkha, and then it's...
Yeah, but to be fair, I have about 20 different Gurkhas in my book.
I remember
So,
you went...
that being said, I have made the decision that I don't like Gurkha.
Yeah.
It is not for my palate. So I don't smoke them anymore.
No. But
there are no billy clubs in my book.
Well,
So I had to think about that. I had to be nice about that.
We smoked the Asylum 13 on the first season, and you weren't against it.
I smoked that Asylum 13 shit back when it came out. It's a decent stick.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I have never smoked an Asylum cigar.
At all?
Period.
Okay.
Is this a worthy first Asylum cigar?
No.
I would suggest a Cordia.
Well, that's the one that you
No,
handed
he's
me.
talking about the size. For the fact that he has never smoked an Asylum cigar, period, is this gauge the first thing he should try? And I say no.
I say it goes either way. I would say try both. Try this. It doesn't really matter which way you try it. I like them both ways. Now, when I did smoke this cigar, I sat by a fire and enjoyed every bit of it. What's going on
Did
here,
you say
bud?
you had these in your humidor?
Yeah. Why are they dry?
39%. That or it's just not too big. It's not getting anything. 39%. So no, these need to be humidified a little bit. Take off its condom. Try this.
It's always for protection, you know?
38%. Definitely need to put these in the thing for a while.
I did just change my
Humidimeter. I bought it from Nicaragua. You changed your what? You put new water in it?
No, I changed my humidifier. I quit using the pucks because they're shit.
See? Didn't you just say that? You're over the pucks?
They don't work.
They literally took a shit on me.
Mine were dripping on my cigars. Like I put less and less, and every time it was literally right above where the cigar is right below my pucks. You can literally see the line where my puck was.
Yeah, I always try to avoid doing that.
Well, that means you probably filled it with too
Well,
much.
that's the thing. My first couple times, yeah, I think I did put too much in it, but then I would put less and less, and then still.
And you actually had the pucks. You didn't have the rectangles?
I had one with the rectangle and one with the circle pucks, and both of them did it.
Because he got a hold of me the other day, and I was putting an order in because I needed the Bovita packs, which we're not endorsed or sponsored by Bovita. We're just saying it how it is. And
could
Bovita
be,
packs.
though.
Huh?
We could be though.
We could be. Bovita.
That's up.
It's a great product, and
No, it is. It actually takes all the guesswork out of it. If you want your humidors to be 69%, they sell them. You want it to be 72%, they sell them. You want it to be 49%. I saw 49% the other day, if you can believe that.
So we're gonna get a little off track here because I know that we're in the process of talking about how the humid. Wow, I can't even speak.
Hey,
turning into
Johnny too.
Turning into Johnny here. The humidor pucks, they're shit. They took a shit on me. Like my humidor was down at like 30% humidity 2 weeks after filling them up.
Yeah.
And they just weren't getting any better. But back to the Bovita packs. I think there's something to be said. These Romeos, the Romeo that I'm smoking right here, right now. I just opened this box 10 minutes before we started this episode. There was a 69% Bovita pack in the box, and they are ready to be smoked right out of the box.
And that's funny you mentioned that too, because a lot of cigar manufacturers are including Bovita packs in their full boxes
I
now.
was just getting ready to say that. I think pretty much every box I've bought, and maybe the exception of one box, they all had a Bovita pack in it. And I mean, and that's across multiple companies.
Yeah, because there's actually a sticker on the outside. If it's got a Bovita pack in it, there's a sticker on the outside that says Bovita, and it's tiny, like maybe that long, about that wide. They're not big, but that's how you know that it's in there.
Do you have a Bovita pack with you? So
He's got a whole 20 pack of them.
You want to maybe do a little B-roll of the Bovita pack to show what we're talking about?
But yeah, no, those Bovita packs are, dude, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
It just takes the guesswork out, and that's what I really love about it.
Yeah.
I did my due diligence. I gave the pucks a chance. I gave the small rectangles a chance. Hell, I even took the foam out of those things and put those blue gels in them, like the little balls that you can fill it. Okay, let me explain that. That worked too well.
What do you mean by too well?
My damn humidor was at 90%.
Oh, wow.
No, you don't want anything to be that high. That's when you get mold growing in there. You get
high
all
in moisture,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. That's why Mr. K brings his cigars home from Florida
'Cause
when
of
he
the
comes back.
humidity down there,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, dude, it's horrible. I mean, there's times when it's humid here in the summertime. I'll leave my humidors open because it's just suffocating them.
Yeah, and taking care of your humidors is crucial to your smoking experience, too. You got too much humidity in any cigar, you're going to have a hard time keeping it lit.
Well,
The draw, it fucks up the draw.
on that note, I have my ready humidor. You know that.
Yeah.
So I keep all my other humidors between 69 and 72%. My ready humidor is a little lower. I actually have a 62% Bovita pack in there because I found the best way or the best humidity to smoke your cigars at is between 55 and 65%. That's, in my opinion, that's when they smoke the best. So I have my ready humidor, which is actually a humidor that my wife bought me for our anniversary one year. I can't remember which year. And it sits on top, so I go to all my other humidors, I pull everything out, and pretty much just load it up for the month.
Yeah.
And then I just pull from that when I want to smoke them. Why don't you talk about that? Because I'm pretty sure we said our piece about ours so far.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to go into the next round on mine.
Well, when I say this, it might shock you. I'm going to straight up compare this to an Opus. No, it's very smooth. My burn line is perfect. I mean, look at that perfect ash. I haven't even had the ash.
Before you continue down the path that you're about to walk, let me brace people here that you said you didn't much care for the 20ths. The
No, I didn't.
20ths are as close to perfection in a cigar, and that's a direct quote from Mr. K, but it's one I agree with wholeheartedly.
See,
And we were smoking that torchbearer, and you said, I like this better than the 20th. And we were all like, really? And you were like, yes, I don't really care for the 20th. So you can keep talking, but I wanted to brace people.
Yeah. No, and you're right.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel? I agree with everything he said, by the
You want to hand
way.
me one of those billy clubs? I'll show you.
Right.
How I really feel.
No, you're right. I didn't care for the 20th opus. Now the Torchbearer, I smoked as much of that as I could. Thank you, Cigar Dagger, because I was able to enjoy every bit of it.
We already had 2 on 2 different episodes. Matter of fact, next episode will be another giveaway.
Yeah. But back to this. Now, I would say this is an opus with a different wrapper. Pretty much, it's very smooth. The burn line's perfect. I mean, this ash it's so consistent on burn. It's not flaky.
I don't have a whole box anymore, but I bought a box of those. In my opinion, that blend, if you were to take an opus wrapper and put it on that blend, you would have a mid to mid-high level of an opus. I love that blend that they have in there. Mr. K actually said the anniversary series of that Don Carlos was even like tenfold better.
Yeah.
Slap an opus wrapper, and the wrapper does make a difference. So there has been some discussion, like especially on these different cigar forums, like does the wrapper really make a difference?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, definitely.
That's like asking if a condom makes a difference. Like, what? Yes, it makes a difference, a huge difference.
You can have an awesome blend on the inside, and the wrapper can ruin it all. Mm-hmm. The binder even makes a difference.
Or because I'm going to name drop now, in Rocky Patel's case, the wrapper on his white label just took a phantasmic blend and made it even more succulent. Succulent, that's the word I'm going with for the white label. It had a blend that would kick you straight in the taint, but then became succulent and creamy with that wrapper. My God, was it good.
So I think that's a really unique opinion because that's a Connecticut shade wrapper, correct?
Which I don't like, and everybody who knows me knows I don't like.
There have been a few where you've been like, that's okay, that's smokable, but typically you're against it. You like the bolder cigar, and the Connecticut shade is a lighter.
It's a lighter leaf.
Lighter flavor. So I don't know. I haven't had the white label yet, and the way you guys talk about it, I'm drooling over here. So
when I think of, like, I want to have a cigar, everybody has that number one that first comes to mind. For me, every time I think about having a cigar, it's like, man, I wish I had a white label. Right? As of right now, the white label is probably my number one.
You know, and go ahead. I see your finger on the volume.
I was just gonna say he's fallen in love with the white label in the same way I fell in love with that ALR.
Second edition.
Second edition.
Make sure you say that. The ALR second edition is fantastic. The white label, fantastic. But on that note, I've had many of people ask me what my favorite cigar is. You already know my answer. You already know my answer. It's like a gun. Whatever fits good in your hand is the best gun for you. Whatever cigar you're craving, you're feeling, that's the best cigar for you. However, when I pick my cigars, I do it by maker. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to stack up an Opus 20th against a Padron 1926 against a Rocky Patel 60. You can't do that. Yeah. Different makers, different touches, different blends. There's just no way. If you want to get into Padron, believe it or not, my favorite cigar in the Padron series is the 45-year 1964 Maduro. That's my favorite Padron.
I have not had the Maduro version. I've had the regular, and it is, you're right. It's spot on. It's fantastic.
I've had the 50th. I had the black serial numbers, which were the remakes afterwards. I've had every 1926 they released. I've had every 1964 they released. I've even had like the 1000 series, like the 6000, 7000 series. That 45-year 1964 Maduro.
And just to kind of like talk about a little bit that, like you were saying, it's like a gun, whatever fits comfortably at the time. I don't care for the Padron in the way that you do.
And that's true.
It's good. I would absolutely smoke it. If you or Mr. K handed me a Padron, I would smoke it and I would enjoy every moment of it. But I can't justify paying the price that they cost when I can go get an ALR for $10, $20 cheaper, depending.
Well, I don't really think that for me, it doesn't come down to the money. It comes down to the smoking characteristics and the flavor. So am I getting the same smoking character? Am I getting that fantastic draw? Okay? Am I getting the flavor that I want? Is that worth $35 a stick? Or like him, yes, those are good. Nothing against Padron. But the draw, the flavor, the price, the atmosphere, the ALR second edition is where he goes with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And on the flip side of that token, you know, if we go back to the Opus, you know, the Dominican side of the expensive sticks, I absolutely think that the Opus 20th is worth the $60 that it costs.
Fuck him up.
You know, the Padron has the smoking characteristics and all that good stuff, but like it's just not special enough, in my opinion, for my taste buds to cost what it costs, whereas the Opus absolutely does.
And see, and that right there is what I love about cigars and cigar smokers. You got 3 different people in this room with 3 completely different taste buds.
Yep.
But that's also why I break mine down by maker. So the 1964 45-year Maduro is my favorite Padron. The Opus, hands down, the 20th. That is my favorite Fuente, okay? If you want to get on the lower side of that, I smoke them 858 Sungrowns all day long.
See,
I love
Hemingway
those.
all
That's
day,
me with
every
the
day.
Hemingway.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. You love the Hemingway.
Yeah.
The
It's-
858's good. The Hemingway's just 1 or 2 notches better.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would say we've all heard the term, you get what you pay for.
But that's,
I really don't
that's
think
not necessarily true in this case.
in the cigar world, it doesn't, the price literally has no meaning on what you're going to think of that cigar. Like you just said, the Hemingway is an affordable stick. Absolutely love it. You guys seen the Hemingway episode? I smoked the shit out of it. That is one of my favorite sticks. Now, when it comes to the price and it's all in what you're feeling that day. You know what I mean? That's why, like today, when we all walked in, we were all feeling something different. So there's another reason why we're all smoking something
And that's
different.
why we changed it up for this particular episode, because you're not always feeling like yes, we have humidors, we have certain cigars that are supposed to go on certain episodes, but we weren't feeling it today. Matter of fact, I've been drooling over this one.
You've been talking about it for.
And when we walked in here, I didn't even pull this out of my box. This came from my humidor at the house.
Yep.
You haven't tried that one yet, so you're smoking it. You were ecstatic that your Romeos came in. It's just what you're feeling in the moment. And that's why I have that ready humidor. I load it with everything I could possibly want. But what I load in my travel humidor,
It's a variety of.
it's a variety, because I might have preloaded this in there for today and go, man, I'm just not feeling that today. Like, I wanted it, but I don't want it now, and I'm going to pull something else out instead.
Well, just a quick note, too, because you earlier mentioned that we split a box of those Rocky Patel 60s. Got those same time as the Romeos. Rocky, I love you. I would have loved to smoke a 60 tonight. Please put Bovita packs in your box so that I can smoke them the moment they arrive. Please.
I'll agree with that. I love when they're in there. But I'll tell you, on that note, there is one company that has packs in there, but they're not Bovita packs, and that's Fuente. Fuente puts gel packs in their boxes, but they are Fuente packs. I don't have one here. I saved them, but they have like the Fuente logo and stuff on them. They're in a really cool envelope. They put those in there. But yeah, a lot of these companies are now converting to the Bovita packs in their boxes. Please do. It's a fantastic way to smoke them right out of the box. You said it plain and simple. There have been times that I've gotten boxes and they're just dry, like just beyond belief dry. And now I have to throw them in my one humidor that's actually set at a higher humidity, specifically designed to bring these things up to temperature, or up to humidity.
Yeah.
So, and you know I'm a huge fan of Alec Bradley. Huge fan of Alec Bradley. The Prensado. And not because it went #1, because it's just a damn good stick.
Yes.
But the lineage is fantastic also. So it goes by maker for me. And then feeling comes next in that lineup.
The temperature of the day, what's going on? I mean, we're in some shitty weather today for sure.
Well, see, right there. It's cold as balls outside. This warms you up. A good medium to full-bodied cigar warms you up.
Yeah, and
This was a Nicaraguan day for me.
you got to get that dig in there every time, huh?
Always. That's the weird part about actually doing 3 different ones is kind of just bouncing around a lot.
Well, yeah, and earlier you had mentioned that I already went through mine, and I didn't. So I talked about the fact that I was smoking it, but I didn't say anything about it.
My bad.
So, no, you go ahead.
Huh? Well, thank you.
I just wanted to bitch at you a little bit.
Thank you kindly. Let's see here. The Disciple, let's see, it's made in Rocky's factory in Nicaragua. It has a Mexican San Andres wrapper and a hefty, and I'm going to say that with emphasize notes, hefty blend. Hefty blend of Nicaraguan fillers. You like this thing, you're just getting punched in the face with just like a dried wood. Not quite an oak, definitely not a pine, but like a mix of oak and cedar. Okay. It smacks you right in the face. I absolutely love that flavor. The first one I ever smoked had some black pepper that lasted through probably about half the stick. It was like halfway through the second, third, and it finally went away. I don't have any black pepper this time around. You get a little some cedar notes. The one thing that it doesn't have, and I'm thankful for, is anise. I cannot stand that flavor.
I don't think anybody likes
That's
anise.
anise.
Yeah, whatever. He says Nicaragua, I can't say anise. What the hell?
We gotta clarify for people that don't
Okay.
know you.
Okay.
Look,
so
when I heard anus, I was thinking about you eating ass. So
I bet you were. Pizzelles. Okay, I'm Italian. We eat pizzelles cooked. Well, they eat pizzelles cooked. I can't stand those things. I don't like star anise. I can't stand it. And this does not have it. I noticed that a lot of the cigars that I smoke, the Nicaraguan cigars that I smoke, it's got that flavor. Eventually, that licorice flavor is going to make its way in there.
yeah,
I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It depends on what the blend is. This doesn't have it at all, and I'm thankful for that.
the Don Carlos I was looking at. This is all. Let me make sure before I speak out of turn. It is yes. The filler is Dominican Republic. The binder is Dominican Republic, but it has a Cameroon wrapper.
But it's a good Cameroon wrapper.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
what
Fuente.
the distinction is. I
Look.
don't know what the distinction is there. I have no idea because I also love the Don Carlos number 2, and you and I both hate Cameroon. We both hate the same Cameroon cigars.
Yes.
But the Don Carlos, there's something about it.
The Don Carlos, the 858 has a Cameroon wrapper. I mean, there's a lot of them that have Cameroon wrappers on them. Maybe it was just those couple of cigars specifically. I don't know. It's a great flavor.
It definitely is, but I would say it's a Fuente. You know, Fuente is just like Padron, Rocky Patel. Fuente is probably one of the most finicky about if it ain't ready, it ain't ready.
Oh,
And they everything down from like the Hemingway. If
it
it ain't right, it ain't right, and it ain't going out.
It
and
ain't
Fuente's
about
big on
being
that.
finicky. Something that Carlos Fuente Jr., his pops, Carlos Fuente Sr., his grandfather, Arturo Fuente, it just comes down to exacting standards. If this shit ain't ready, fuck off and wait.
Well, and I'll say this also. Perfection doesn't exist.
No.
Perfection never will exist.
No, it can't be
we
perfect.
love Rocky Patel. We love Fuente. We love Padron.
I love
There's-
Alec Bradley, but
There's gonna be bad sticks. There's gonna be things that you don't like. There's going to be things that just don't jive with you. There is no such thing as perfection.
Nope. But I would say Fuente, Padron, Rocky Patel, probably the big ones. That their quality and their
Well, I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say it. Sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna just say it because we talked about Cameroon in a previous episode, and you specifically were like, "I'm not gonna name names." There was a reason why you decided not to name names because we were talking some pretty mad shit on this particular cigar that episode.
So you're gonna name names today?
I'm gonna name names today because I'm trying to make a point to Johnny, who keeps mentioning Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel also is not perfect.
Nobody is.
What was it? The vintage 2006 Cameroon? Sorry, Rocky. That cigar is trash. It tastes like motor oil.
And it got a 93 rating.
Yeah.
And that's where you go. Everybody's tastes are different.
It is
it's true.
I mean, when he first looked up, because I remember he was down here and he smoked it and he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't like it either." And he goes, "No." He took a couple more puffs off and he's like, "This tastes like motor oil." And he threw it out the door. I'm like,
And
wow.
I love Rocky Patel.
Oh, yeah.
That man, I like, seriously, that man, that company can do no wrong. But, like, there's going to be knockouts. It happens.
I mean, the catch-22s. I mean, it's the lower end of the spectrum for Rocky, but not for me.
Yeah,
I don't like those.
I didn't enjoy those either. Those were
They
just
were trash.
There were something. Let's just throw these. We got. To me, those were like, hey, we have a bunch of this left over. Let's just roll it up and see if somebody likes it.
Which is weird because Rocky goes through an extensive tasting process.
Yeah.
But I think what he was trying to do was create a cigar that was good, but for the people that smoke lower end cigars.
Well, I mean, people you follow on Instagram, I think Cincy, one of them, was talking about how he loves the Cameroon. He was smoking that Cameroon in one of his posts, and I don't get it personally, not for me. But it just goes to show you, like, you can idolize any person, any company, any cigar maker you want. There's always going to be less than perfect cigars out there.
Yeah. There are one series of cigars I know you'll agree with me. I don't know if you've had one. But the Punch series. I don't know how anybody can smoke those.
Never had one.
Okay, so the room agrees. It's like being punched in the face.
I think that's part of their gimmick.
It
was so bold and so peppery. I couldn't get through, like, three puffs off that thing. I felt sick to my stomach. The pepper was so strong, I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, they're.
And the only punch, well, the punch signature was the white band. That cigar is currently floating in the Edinburgh Lake because I puffed on it through. I'm like, nope, and fired up a different one.
Yeah.
But I have friends who swear by those cigars.
Yep. Another one I can bring up, that Trinidad that I brought you.
The number one.
Yeah. I was told
The Trinidad Espiritu number one.
Yeah. I was told before I bought it that the guy there, he was like, I've been told they're super spicy. And
Oh, yeah, so
I'm
he didn't
hesitant-
order anymore.
Yeah, he was hesitant to try it. And I'm like, I've been seeing a lot of good about Trinidad. I'm going to give this one a shot. It was a great fucking stick.
That stuff
And
was incredible.
Good
when
enough.
I went back, I was like, you need to try this. I said, don't take somebody else's opinion on it. Give it a shot. When the next time I went back, he was like, thank you for telling me that because I really did enjoy this stick.
It was good. Good enough I bought 2 boxes of it.
Yep. Believe it or not now, they weren't ordering it again. You go there now, they're sitting in their humidor.
Good.
Because the guy actually tried it.
No, they're a fantastic stick. I actually haven't tried the Espiritu number 2 yet.
Yeah.
They are out. Well, they've been out for a while. I just haven't bothered to try one, and I can't find them local.
That's a cigar that I've only had one time and would love to smoke again because that first one was just chef kiss. Mwah.
No, they're great. And you can't find. It's hard to find Trinidads around here too.
Mm-hmm. There is a Trinidad I keep seeing on Instagram that I don't think we can get in the U.S.
No, and a lot of the people that I see smoking those Trinidads that I want are people overseas, and I'm beginning to wonder if we just can't get them here.
I'm gonna have to say this. Somebody that can get. I'm gonna have to look up the name, but we're gonna have to get a hold of somebody that watches our show. Please send us some. Obviously, we'll pay for shipping. and
Yeah,
that,
whatever
but
it's going to take to get them here.
we would we would like to put something we can't get in the U.S. on this show, because that is something that all of us can't. I mean, probably Mr. K would probably have trouble getting something like that.
Maybe. I mean, he's got honey holes all across the world that he orders from. But there are so many good cigars out there that we can't get here for whatever reason. Maybe the market's not here. You know, when you think about it, think about the old commercials for like McDonald's back in the days where they said prices and participation may vary. You know, speaking of that, and I don't want to go too much into this, but when I first moved to Vegas, I was a huge fan of the McChickens, like $1 for the McChicken. I moved out to Vegas and went to a McDonald's. I ordered I ordered 2 McChickens. Man, that thing comes in, I'm looking at it. My mom and dad took me out. It was like right after, or when I was going to college. I'm like, why is this thing orange? So I bit into it, and it was the most amount of cayenne pepper I've ever had in one bite. And I spit it out. I'm like,
They
what the
gave you a hot and spicy. They gave you a hot and spicy. The one fucking sandwich that me and Gus cannot get here and wish we could.
Because nobody around here eats that shit.
That's literally what he said. I was like, because we were ordering McDonald's as like a splurge, and I was like, did they take the hot and spicy off the menu? And he's like, no, they've never had them here. I don't think the white people can handle the spicy.
And we can't, dude. It was so disgusting. The pepper was just too much. But you know what you don't have out there that I was looking for, speaking of that? The bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. Those didn't exist. I pulled up to a McDonald's and went to the drive-thru. I said, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. The lady goes, what is that?
Yeah, I don't.
What do you mean, what is that?
I don't usually do McDonald's breakfast. If I'm gonna do fast food breakfast at all, it's all about the Del Taco breakfast burritos.
Which nobody around here knows about.
There's no Del Taco around here. Like, what the hell?
I'd take Del Taco over Taco Bell any day.
Taco.
Yeah, no.
Look, Taco Bell
depends
is
on
great,
the mood.
but
Depends on the mood. They're two very similar looking restaurants, but very different.
Yeah, but I always used to eat Del Taco at midnight when we get done tracking. You know, we're doing songs for our album in the fucking studio, and we're like, okay,
Dude.
we are starving. Somebody would do a Del Taco run.
Leaving the bar at 6 a.m. after karaoke, Del Taco breakfast burritos.
Anyway, back to our cigar show. Get away from the food. You want to explain yours a little bit?
Sure. So nice of you to call on me finally. I was thinking about this just a minute ago, actually, because I'm actually almost through my second third at this point. For context, I always light mine up a little bit before the boys do, because I often am, swapping back and forth and doing things behind the scenes, so I can't have it,
He does camera work.
Yeah, exactly. So I always light mine up a little bit before them, and I would say about almost to the final third here. And I was tasting a weird combination of like wet cedar mixed with like dark cocoa.
Huh.
Like pure, I don't know if I would say baker's cocoa, but like very dark chocolate, like 90%.
Baker's
dark
Coke is a
chocolate.
little bit more bitter.
Yeah. It was like just a hint of sweetness, but it was that bitterness, which is really unique because that's actually not a flavor that I've had out of this stick yet. And I've had this stick quite a few times by now. This is the first time I'm smoking this particular size, though.
And fresh.
And fresh, right. Because this is 6.5 by 56?
55.
55.
It was a weird number.
The ones at the club were
7 by
7 by 58.
7 by 56.
56, yeah. So, and it sounds maybe a little bit ridiculous, but just that little bit of a size difference can make a huge difference in the flavor. So, I'm thoroughly enjoying this size in this stick just as much as the bigger ones. But it's different. It's a different kind of enjoyment. It's a different kind of experience. So, this bad boy here, again, it is the Romeo.
Which I'll put that up on the screen. I'll put the so everybody knows which one we're talking about.
Yeah, I got B-roll of it too. So, it's an Ecuador Habano wrapper with a Dominican binder and Dominican filler. I'm a big fan of the Dominican. I think I like the Dominican more than you do.
It has to be It has to be the right day for me to want Dominican.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. I like the Nicaraguan, but like I particularly want Nicaraguan when I want that extra punch in the throat.
Right.
typically I like cigars just a little bit lighter, a little bit creamier than you do, and I think that the Dominican really gives that to me. It gives me just a little bit of a hint of sweetness while still giving a little bit of boldness that's not too overwhelming. So I've had a good experience with, obviously, the Romeo, with the Fuente Hemingway, the 858, and even the Opus, if we're, talking about the high end. The Andalusian Bull is another incredible Dominican stick. Can't recommend that enough.
If you can find it.
If you can find it.
I want to go into some releases. There's a shitload of cigars that came out in 2021. I'm not going to read them all off. However, we're talking about Fuente, we're talking about Opus. The Heaven and Earth Rare Black Double Corona came out.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, right? You know those cigars, Leaf by Oscar?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are bad. I don't like those. His 2012s were good. Oscar came out with the McFly Churchill, the McFly 60,
McFly.
and the McFly Toro. And that's a new line. Those are new lines. Those aren't additions. Padron Black number 100. Dude, I've had a Padron Black, and Padron Blacks came in that sampler that I got.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to smoke them because I can't find them. I would smoke that Padron Black over any Padron. Still not my favorite.
Yeah.
But it's just to like pick it up and smoke it right now, without question, I'm going right to it. It's also cheaper than the ones that I like from Padron. Padron also came out with the Reserve number 95 Maduro and the Natural. Let's see here. Perdomo. There's one we don't talk about very often. I think we actually have a Perdomo or two in the box.
I know we selected 2 different ones for the show. I don't know if both of them are going to.
Well, they are definitely 3-hour-long sticks.
Yeah.
we would be, if we were smoking those, we would definitely be ending the show with a shitload left because they take forever. But Perdomo 20th Anniversary Maduro. What else came out here? Oh, and the Sun Grown. Those came out. Those were limited edition releases. And then Perdomo came out with one called the Firecracker. I have yet to
Sounds
see.
spicy.
I've yet to see that one. The 60 came out. A plethora of different sizes. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you in what you were doing, but if in the off chance somebody from Rocky's team is watching this, I really want to request more variety of those juniors. That Sun-Grown Junior,
I happen to put a thing in my bag already.
they're so fucking good.
Every camera. Pick this thing. Every camera's got it.
Yeah, right there. Cool. They're so good. I would love an ALR version of that, a 60 version of that, a Disciple version of that, like a Decade version of that. Anything that you want to put in a junior size Rocky and team, please. Would love that. Would buy them right up.
You hear that? Rocky, Niche, Tracy, Max, come on. And Tatuari came out with a boatload, the Fausto, however. I have had the Fausto. That's the one that I have the Culebra for the 3 of us to try, which we're going to have to do before you move.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, eat a meal. That thing was so bold. Eat a meal. And we're going to need to do it before it gets hot out because I'm not doing that in the heat again. I thought I was going to puke. That was so powerful. I thought I was going to puke. Great flavor, though. That's all the ones I'm going to read off for today. You got anything else? Actually, it's dagger time. Cigar dagger.
Yeah, I'm right on that note for the cigar dagger. No, the only thing I have to say about my cigar that I'm smoking tonight is Fuente, you done it again. This is great as when I just started it, and I'm in my final third, and I'm enjoying it just as much as I was when I lit it.
I just imagine like both Fuentes and their entire team just like standing around a laptop watching this episode and then applauding because you said you done it again, and they're just like
Or they're standing there going, we know.
that's more likely.
Yeah,
We know.
probably. Yeah, this is a phenomenal stick, and I will be smoking it again for sure, without a doubt.
I'm just waiting on my box. Rocky, if you can help out with that. I'm waiting on my box. And I'm waiting for more ALRs to come out because I can't find them anywhere. And I'm getting dangerously low. I only have 19 left. Just saying.
Only 19.
5 left, I think.
That
Which
sucks
is
for you.
not bad considering I only had, maybe a dozen to begin with. So they're a special occasion.
You guys have a plus, way plus on me. I have 1.
Yeah, but you don't like the ALR like we do.
He hasn't had. Have you had it yet?
Yes, I've had 1.
Oh, you
It is
actually
a
have?
phenomenal stick. And I've had 1, and I have another one.
Yeah, but
For the show.
I think at this point he'd take the white label or the ALR.
I think you'll take the white label.
We'll see.
Because the way you talk about a good bold cigar and a creamy,
We'll see.
I'm still a fan of the ALR.
I would like to get one for this week, a white label.
I'll go tomorrow and grab one.
I think my 3rd degree is on Wednesday. I think we're filming on Thursday next week. I want a celebration cigar.
You're going to celebrate with the white label?
I think so.
There you go, Rocky. Celebrate with your cigar.
We'll have a white label with you.
I'll have a Padron or something. You know what? Actually, I might bring my 20th. I only have 4 left. I might bring my 20th.
I do have, we already did the episode on the pledge. Now, I have one of the OGs before they were named number 1.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I've
that's
had
right.
it in my humidor for going
A while.
over, it's probably been about a year. No, because it was released.
2 years.
Yeah. Because you gave it to me right before it was named number 1.
I had them for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been sitting in my box since.
Stop rubbing your microphone. Thanks.
But it's been sitting in my humidor since. I've been waiting for that celebration time. I think that might be.
You gonna pull that one out?
I might.
That'll be a good episode then. 3 different celebratory cigars.
Yep. And I will be able to cross-reference the prequel.
The re-release.
Yeah.
After it was named.
Yeah. To that.
I could go along with that. On that note, we're going to end it. And we'll see you guys next time. Remember, we're doing a Cigar Dagger giveaway next episode. Have a good one.